Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today I got a pretty big one for you guys. The last time I made a video like this, it got a lot of attention and you guys absolutely loved it. That was around 4 or 5 months ago. Well, today I have 20 plus resource packs for Minecraft 1.21 that are vanilla friendly, a lot of which I'm actually going to be using in this here hardcore world in my series going forward. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it, and please hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the video today. Also, it should probably go without saying, but the links to all these packs would be in the description so that you can go support the creators. Anyways, so far in this video, I currently am only using one resource pack, and you might have already been able to see it, and that is, well, this little thing I have on my wrist. I can go and swap it on over, get it on this arm, swap it again, get it over there. Well, this resource pack is called the Watch of Undying, and what it does is it actually changes the Totem of Undying into a little watch that your character can wear around their arm. I really love this resource pack because it allows you to basically hide the totem in the bottom left part of your corner without needing to use a resource pack that just doesn't make any sense. You know, you could have a resource pack where you're literally holding nothing, or you're holding just a super tiny Totem of Undying. Well, with this resource pack, it still makes sense. It's like, hello. There we go. It's like if you just, turned all the materials that make up a totem into a watch and just wear it like that. And I absolutely love it. Maybe it won't look right with all Minecraft skins, but at least with my Minecraft skin, I don't know. It looks super cool, and I'm going to be using this a lot going forward. Now, moving on over to the next resource pack. This is a resource pack that I have gotten so many requests for people to figure out what resource pack it is, like almost as many as my shaders and their settings, which I had to make a whole dedicated video to, which you can find on the channel. But I'm very glad to finally share with you guys what this resource pack is, because I've been getting so many questions, and it's actually a font resource pack. So if we take a look at this sign, the Duchess Gambit trade boat, my messed up little boat, by the way, first person to get this reference, I'll pin your comment. We can go ahead and take a look at this text, and this is the way that the Minecraft text looks by default. But with this resource pack, this is what it looks like when it's installed, and it's actually called QRAFTY'S capitalized font. And basically what it does is it capitalizes all of the words and all of the text in the game, which I can better showcase if I go and head on over to my house really quick and just kind of dig through my chest for a second. So yeah, you can see a lot of the text looks a little bit different, and in my opinion, this is what Minecraft text should just look like by default. I mean, this font resource pack is beautiful. It looks so good, and I absolutely love it. I recommend it to every single person that plays Minecraft. It is just absolutely amazing, and I could not live without it. The next resource pack I want to talk about is actually called Simple Grass Flowers, and what it does is naturally generated grass will have a chance to spawn with flowers and little rocks. And as you can see throughout my little starter town here, I've actually thrown around a few stone buttons to basically imitate stones that you can find on the ground. But with this resource pack, you can actually see that the grass will generate with some of those, as well as some flowers, to just kind of make the place look a little bit more lively. And this works in a lot of different areas of the game. I'll show you guys a few different screenshots for some variety, just to give you an idea of how much work this pack does to kind of bring in a little bit more atmosphere to the grassy landscape of Minecraft. But I really like it. It's something that's fairly subtle, but it does go a long way into making your area look a little bit more detailed. Now, moving on over to another plant-based resource pack, I want to talk about one right quick. Let me go ahead and get next to my beetroot farm. And this one is called Fancy Crops. If you're somebody that likes to take a lot of negative space throughout your builds and just kind of fill them up with a lot of different crops to make them look a little bit more lively, well, this resource pack is for you. If I go ahead and head on over here to my bee dome, this is an area where I have just a lot of crops that I use just for, decoration and whatnot. If I go and come in here, you'll actually notice right off the bat, I mean, the wheat field is pretty big. The carrots look very much more lively and spread out. We can go and move on over here to the potatoes, and you can see little flowers that are coming off of them. And these resource packs combined with the simple grass flowers and stuff just go a long way to making the plant life in your world look a lot better. And yeah, Fancy Crops is just fantastic if you are building with huge areas of crops in a town or a city or something like that. Then yeah, this resource pack is going to go a long way to making it look so much better. Now, before moving on over, oh my goodness. Before moving on over to another world to showcase you guys a lot of the other resource packs in this video, I kind of want to give you guys a few bonus resource packs really quick. So as we all know, this is the Bare Bones resource pack, which makes your Minecraft look a lot more like the trailers. Well, there's a few resource packs that you can pair with Bare Bones to make it look a lot better. And no, I'm not talking about eating animations or fresh animations or anything like that. This is some stuff that I actually came to know about very recently. So if we go ahead and take a look at this tree really quick, you'll notice that, well, trees in this resource pack look really boring. I mean, leaves in general are just, you know, one color blocks. I mean, that's basically all they are. Well, we can enhance this with the Bare Bones Better Leaves texture pack, which makes the leaves not look so boring and actually makes your Minecraft world, at least in my opinion, look a lot better, because the regular Bare Bones leaves are just super boring. I mean, just having one color and nothing else is pretty lame in my opinion, and this fixes that up. But we also have two more resource packs that we can add that'll help you get that Minecraft trailer feel a lot more than just this. Now, the next resource pack I want to talk about is actually called the Minecraft 10 font, and I don't know, call me crazy, but this font style looks so perfect with the simplistic nature of Bare Bones. Having these really big blocky letters with everything, just, you know, large chest, inventory, taking a look at the stuff that I have here, it just suits the Bare Bones texture pack so much more than the traditional really skinny text. And I don't know, if I'm using Bare Bones, I can't not use this font pack. If you can't tell, I recently figured out that font packs were a thing. I had no idea that font packs existed until a few weeks ago, and I'm obsessed with them. I mean, they do so little, but they feel like they make such a big difference, and I love them. So now I have one more bonus resource pack for you, and that is actually a resource pack that is going to change our title screen. Because if we take a look, this is the title screen of the current Bare Bones resource pack, which is just the trial chambers, but with the Bare Bones textures. But we can actually change this to, at least in my opinion, look a little bit better, and that is with the Better Title Screens pack, and this specifically is the Cherry Grove. I don't know about you guys, but the atmosphere, the aura of this title screen with the font change, with the Bare Bones, with the background being a nice shader Cherry Grove, it just really gives off some big Minecraft trailer energy. I absolutely love it. Of course, you don't have to install this if you don't want to, but I do highly recommend the Better Leaves, and I highly recommend this font pack. All right, so now into a creative world, and wow, what a jungle biome that is. Let's go and talk about a resource pack that is going to be a little bit more useful than the ones that we've talked about thus far. And that resource pack is the Sus Sand resource pack. So, and this also works for gravel, by the way, but if you are somebody who enjoys the dark arts of archaeology or, you know, whatever, and you don't want to mess up by breaking these on accident, the Sus Sand resource pack is going to allow you to find suspicious sand and suspicious gravel a lot easier. And the way that it does this is, you know, in Among Us character on the sand or the gravel. And yeah, I know this video is titled, you know, vanilla friendly resource packs, and this might not be the most vanilla friendly resource pack in the world, but I mean come on, it's literally sus sand. How could you not want sus sand in your Minecraft? I mean, look how easy it is to find the suspicious sand. If you're somebody that engages in archaeology a decent amount and you just want a, you know, just a silly fun way to find suspicious sand, then I don't know, I recommend this pack. It's what I'm going to use in my hardcore world eventually whenever I try to find a sniffer, so I at least recommend it. Now, while on the topic of useful resource packs, and this one's a little bit more, you know, vanilla friendly, this one's called Animated Ores, and basically what it does is it gives little ores in animation. So you can see the glowstone kind of stopping and glowing, you can see the little shimmer in the diamond over there. I think lapis lazuli just kind of has like a pulsating animation with it. This also extends to like all sorts of other stuff. So if we take a look at nether gold ore, and I think ancient debris also has an animation. Yeah, it looks a little buggy, Don't worry about that. It's because I have shaders on right now. But you'll notice that it kind of goes all the way down and then it pulses back up with energy, kind of helps you see it. Same thing with nether gold ore, except this time it's, you know, a little bit of a shimmer, kind of like the diamonds. Really, really cool resource pack. Now, however, if you don't want the animations associated with these ores and you just want better visibility, then you can use the glowing resource pack. And what this does is it simply just doesn't have an animation associated with it, and it simply is just, you know, making the texture of the ore glow. Now, this really isn't going to apply much to you if you use my shaders, because the current shaders that I have enabled, if you go to the materials list and you go to integrated PBR and then glowing ores, you can actually just turn this on with the actual shader settings. But if you're someone that doesn't use shaders, or you might not use a shader pack that has glowing ores by default, then these resource packs are very, very useful to you. Not everybody likes Minecraft with shaders, so I figured that I would include these resource packs just in case. Now, next up for today's video is something that is just kind of something that's neat in my opinion. And that's called Animated Items 1.21. And basically what this resource pack does is it adds a lot of different animations to some items in the game. So if we take a look at some of the more, you know, gem or ingot related items, you'll see that, you know, they have a little bit of a shine to them. Take a look at the slime ball. It's, you know, a little bit slimy every now and again. The trial key eyes will actually blink at you, which I think is a really cool feature because, I mean, you know, why do these have faces on them if they're not going to be creepy and blink every now and again? Speaking of faces that are creepy and blink every now and again, the Totem of Undying will actually blink. So if I hold it in my hand and look at the corner, you'll see that it's just, you know, it's just chilling, you know, it just blinks every now and again. The swords will have little animations as kind of like a shing, little bit of shine to them, as you saw right there. The golden apple has a little bit of sparkles that come off of it. The ominous bottle will blink at you. The eye of Ender will blink at you. And, you know, you also have the lava bucket, which will sometimes drip. But yeah, this resource pack just adds a little bit of flair, a little bit of character to some of the items in Minecraft. And you might not like it, and that's okay. You might find it distracting or something like that. But I don't know. I like it. It's cool. I like the little things, as you probably can tell. Now, speaking of enjoying the little things, let's talk about, well, a little change. It's called Fancy Beds, and you might have seen this one before, but I personally have never used it, but I don't know, I'm in love with it. There's a few of these that I really like, but basically what it does is it takes the dyed beds and gives a unique design to each of them. So if it's a black bed, it'll be a panda, or is that a black bed? No, it's a white bed. If it's a white bed, it's a panda. If it's black, it has a moon. If it's, you know, brown, it has a cow. There's a fox, shulker, creeper, bee. I mean, the bee is probably my favorite, to be fair. Yeah, I don't know. This is just a really cool little resource pack. And I'm also using this with the Better Beds mod, which basically turns beds from entities into models. Basically just means that they're not going to tank your frame rate if you have a bunch of them. But yeah, I really appreciate this resource pack. It just adds a little bit of character to small little aspects of the game. And I don't know, I appreciate that. Now, moving on over to what I promise is our last plant-based resource pack of the video. I'm sorry, just crops and plants. I don't know, they do it for me. Actually, that's not true. I have one more plant-based resource pack after this. Anyways, we are going to talk about a resource pack that is going to change the look of crops pretty drastically, and it's called Bountiful Crops. And what it does is it just kind of makes... Why are you planting beetroot and carrots? Anyways, it's called Bountiful Crops, and basically what it does is it kind of adds a little bit more of a cartoony-esque feel to the crops in the game. Also, you know, obviously it makes them 3D, but it just makes the crops just hilariously huge, and I think that's awesome. Now, to finally put an end to all of the plant-based resource packs, I promise this is the last one. This one is called VERVADA'S Enhanced Plants, and what this does is it makes basically all the plants in the game 3D, like mainly flowers. But if you take a look over here, you'll actually notice that it changes the seed grass. So anytime there is seed grass that grows above the water like this, they turn into, you know, whatever this plant is called. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head, but it's the things that look like corn dogs that you can eat. don't eat them, actually. It's not a good idea. But yes, if we go to this little flower forest here, you'll notice that there are a ton of plants that now have 3D models, and they look fantastic. This resource pack is fantastic. I love what it does to the plants, and it just makes things look way more lively than they normally do, because I don't know, man, these flowers, they just hit all sorts of different. Moving on over to our next resource pack, I honestly thought that this one had to be a mod, but apparently it can just be a resource pack, and that is called MACE 3D. And what it does is it makes your MACE 3D. And I'm gonna be honest, I love it. I'm one of those people that just, man, I can't get over the MACE being 2D. It makes way more sense for it to follow in the footsteps of the trident, for example. Because I mean, if you look at the sprite in my inventory, it doesn't look anything like the trident that's currently in my hands. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a full-on like 3D model, and I just think the mace should also be that. It just makes sense. You just, you know, take a breeze rod, put a heavy core, boom, that's what it should look like. It shouldn't look like something completely different. I love this resource pack. I literally cannot play without it. Now, there are a lot of people I know in this community that take their Minecraft skins pretty seriously, and not every Minecraft skin necessarily looks really good in armor. And if you're somebody that predominantly plays creative mode, this probably doesn't matter to you because, well, you're probably not playing, you know, with armor. But I debated for a while to include a resource pack that literally just makes armor invisible and just call it a day. But then I found this one. This resource pack is called Minimal Armor, and it allows you to equip armor, have armor that affects your character visually, but it's just minimal. You know, there's barely much going on. You have like a little crown situation, you have some shoulder pads, and you have like some shin guards and some boots, and that's it. This is what it looks like with netherite. It also puts like a nice little blue gem, you know, on your leggings and on your helmet. So if we go and take that off, that's what netherite looks like. We can go ahead and throw on gold, and as you can see, you got a little red gem up at the top. The shin guards change a little bit, and you know, generally it looks just about the same. It's just, you know, a little dependent on what style of armor that you're using or what material. But I think this resource pack is actually pretty nice for those of you guys that still want to be able to see your skin quite a bit, and you don't want to have it completely covered up whenever you put on armor. This is a pretty good way to still visually show that you have armor on, but not in an obnoxious way if you're wanting to see a lot of your skin all the time. So yeah, this is just, you know, a little showcase of what all of the armors look like. Now, this will make the armor trim portion of the game not really work, because armor trims doesn't really work with these models or whatever for armor. So if you're someone that doesn't care about armor trims, then this resource pack is for you. I mean, if you're trying to not have armor on as much as possible, then you probably don't care about trims. And I think minimal armor is just a really, really cool resource pack to get that look of your skin that you want to have all the time, and also have a visual representation that you have armor on. Now, this next resource pack goes out to all of my Minecraft OGs out there. This resource pack is called the Programmer Art Continuation Pack. And what it does is it not only fixes up some issues with the programmer art. For instance, if you're using just the programmer art and you take a look at Crimson Nylium, then you'll notice that the bottom portion of the Crimson Nylium is actually just the new netherrack texture. I can actually show you really quick if I go inside of here and remove this. You'll notice that it just doesn't work at all. Like, if you're just using programmer art, you're not really gonna have a good time playing the game because of things like this. Or if we take a look at the nether gold that'll generate here sometimes, you'll notice that it doesn't layer it on top of the old netherrack texture, it layers it on top of the new one. But with the programmer art continuation pack, you'll notice that, well, that's not a problem anymore. But that's not it. You see, not only does this pack fix issues with the regular programmer art, but it changes so many of the textures in this game to what it would look like had Minecraft's art style not changed. So if we take a look at the warden, for instance, you'll notice that the Warden looks a little bit different than he traditionally does. A little bit more scary, and it just, I believe that this is actually an old concept art for what the Warden should have looked like or could have looked like. And with this continuation pack, you see that it brings back that version of the Warden. But again, that's not all. If we take a look at Netherite, for example, and I go and get myself a full set, you'll notice that this armor is completely modeled after the original armor that came in Minecraft, and it's not a completely different model like it is in, you know, the current age of Minecraft. There's a bunch of other small changes too, like with things like glowberries having a different texture or sweet berries having a different texture. We even have things like the raw versions of ores looking a bit different, amethyst shards looking different. By far one of my favorite things though is some of the retextures to deep slate. I feel like the deep slate texture going from stone to deep slate looks a little bit more natural with this pack on, and it also changes a lot of stuff and a lot of textures with deep slate as well, that you can see right here. I believe it also does the same for blackstone. Go and grab regular blackstone, and we'll grab like some polished blackstone, for instance. So yeah, it kind of looks like a black version of cobblestone, and you'll notice that these textures are just a lot more harsh than what we have in the regular game. And that's of course because that's what Minecraft's art style used to be. It used to look a way more harsh than what we're used to now, where the textures are, you know, a little bit softer, a little less noisy, and you know, they don't stick out quite as much. Hell, we even have the old totem of Undying right here. Definitely an L, by the way. This totem is super ugly, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I gotta be honest, this is just a really, really cool resource pack. It even changes the trims to look a little bit more, you know, noisy and not as smoothed out textures and stuff. It's just a really, really, really cool resource pack. And if you're somebody that wants to start a new Minecraft playthrough and kind of just imagine what it's like had Minecraft's art style never changed, I mean, this is the perfect resource pack to do that. Now, moving on over to a resource pack that is by far probably a top 3 resource pack of all time for me. This one is called Colorful Containers, and what it does is it creates a special UI for every single utility block in the game. Now, currently, this resource pack is on 1.20, so it doesn't have the new crafter interface or anything like that, but the mod author already said he is working on it, and as of the time of this recording, it hasn't been updated, but by the time you see this video, it actually might be. But this is a, just by far, top 3, top 5 resource pack for me. Absolute must have. Just the way that everything looks is just so clean. It even changes whenever you open up shulker boxes. The shulkers UI will change depending on the color. It just fits Minecraft so well, and it's one of those things that I really could see being in the base game. It looks super clean. Now, the next resource pack I want to talk about is one that's fairly small, but if you're somebody that's a builder, it's probably something that you'll appreciate, and it's just called Better Carpets. And it basically makes it to where carpets don't look so odd, I guess, because without this little texture overhang here, it's just a flat wool layer, and it just looks super awkward. So if you're ever using carpets on an edge or anything like that, it brings this little texture a little bit down and makes things look a little bit cleaner. It's like those people who use like the better grass texture packs and stuff, where grass just looks a little bit more natural, and that's kind of what this one does. It makes a really small difference, but if you are a builder, it's something that you'll probably appreciate. Moving on from there, we have another resource pack that makes a pretty small difference, but I do like it personally, and that's called Better Boats. This is what the boat looks like normally in Minecraft. As you can see, it's just kind of flat on the bottom, and it's, you know, not that much detail added to it. But with Better Boats, you can see that it kind of makes the shape a little bit different and adds these little seat dividers here as well, because, I mean, boats are meant for 2 people to be able to get in. So whenever you're sitting down, you'll actually notice that you're not just sitting on the bottom of the boat, you're sitting on this little seat right here. And if you have somebody in the boat with you, they'll end up sitting on that seat as well. Just, you know, adds a little bit more detail to the boats in this game and makes them kind of make more sense than just people sitting at the bottom of them. Adding little seats there and kind of changing the outer shape of it is pretty nice. Now, the last resource pack for this video is another one that is fairly small, but I do think it is fairly neat, and that is called Enchant Icons. If I go ahead and take this diamond pickaxe and throw it into the enchanting table, you actually notice that anytime I see an enchant, it actually changes the color depending on what the enchant is, and also has a little icon next to it to symbolize what the enchantment is. So here is a fortune pickaxe, and I can immediately tell because of the purplish pink color, and I can also see the 3 is in just regular numbers and not Roman numerals. Now, if I go ahead and take a look at this sword that I have down here, and yeah, I kind of spawned it in with commands, but you know, the sharpness, if it weren't level 255, would just say 5 at the end. But you can see that it's color coded. So looting, sweeping edge, sharpness, and then you have like the really important enchants like unbreaking and mending being gold stars. So I think it's really cool. This also is going to apply to enchanted books as well. So you can kind of better see what they are just right off the rip, just by highlighting them. And yeah, I think it's a fairly neat one. Doesn't make too big of a difference, but it does look pretty cool in my opinion. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I hope that you guys were able to at least get a few resource packs from this video that you personally could enjoy and add to your current Minecraft world. I definitely know that I have, as I'll definitely be using a few of these in my hardcore world going forward. But guys, thank you all so much for watching, especially all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next time.